Hey guys, this is Anime Ballsy here, and today we are going to be doing the second part of What If Goku Had a System. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe. It's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. I just want to thank you guys so much for the support I got on the opening part to this series. I put a lot of time into making the plot for it, so I guess it paid off in the end. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag, disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
Goku is surprised by the Ring of Yamoshi because he feels like he could really use a lot of power with it. However, he doesn't really know what the system means by godly ki. Anyway, he puts that thought to rest and eagerly puts on the glistening golden ring. The ring is sleek and glossy, embellished with intricate, captivating engravings. So how do I actually use the power, he asks. To use a percentage of the power stored within the Ring of Yamoshi, simply internally state the percentage that you wish to be transferred throughout your body. Goku gets ready to do just that, but he then receives another message. This time it's a warning message. However, it is still very ill-advised that the user with such low battle power tries to utilize this item. Goku understands this message and it scares him a little. However, he isn't looking to try and use the form for a long period of time, he just wants to use a slither of the power to see what it can do to him and his strength. So he doesn't want to try and use it with Super Saiyan just yet because he feels like that'll do too much to his body. If he had the stamina and physical drain from both Super Saiyan and this mystical power source, he'd be surely placing far too much strain on his body. Therefore, he decides to see what he can do with just his base form. 0.5% he commands, trying to use just a small fraction of the power. There is a slight vibration in the ring on his finger and he then sees red ki emanating from the glowing ring. Seconds later, as the ki begins to enter his body, he feels a large amount of strain on it and the veins on his skin start pulsating and looking far more visible. He grunts in pain and his eyes flash red and he then engulfs in a glowing fiery red aura. However, his hair remains black and his physical appearance doesn't really change. From now, Goku's power level is even stronger than it was with Super Saiyan using just this fraction of the power. However, Goku has seen that he's going to have to train before he can use the power freely. Alright, stop now, he commands. The ki begins to be sucked into the ring like it's a vacuum and he feels a sense of relief wash over him as the ki is being called back to the ring. He sighs after being relieved of the pain, then tries to use a lower amount of the ring's power. If that's what 0.5% does, I'll use like 0.2%, he decides. He makes the necessary command, but no ki comes out of the ring. He wonders what's happened and looks down at the still ring before seeing a system message appear in front of him. The lowest amount of power that can be drawn from the Ring of Yamoshi is 0.5%. Goku decides to give this test of his ring a rest for now and continues his harsh training to try and progress with it. If 0.5% of the ring's power makes him that strong, he's sure that he can achieve much more with it once he increases his power level. Just as a reminder, here are his stats now. User Kakarot brackets Goku, titles One Man Army. Ki control 7, intelligence 4, reflexes 7, durability 14, adaptability 3, perception 6. During this time, Goku marries Chi-Chi just like he promised in the canon timeline and ends up having his son Gohan at a similar time. With his son, he does take training more lightly but still makes progress. He finds it easier to just abuse his Zenkai boost since he can heal with Zensu beans and then make immediate progress. It's much less time consuming than intensive hand-to-hand combat training and meditation. He still does do those things but just for less time in a single day. With his power level now at 100,000, he can use 0.5% of the ki stored within the Ring of Yamoshi better but not easily. When he moves up to 1% though, he feels an even more intense feeling of strain. With just 0.5%, Goku's power level reaches even 15 million from just 100,000. The ki is from a powerful god ki using Saiyan and Goku doesn't really understand how much power is really stored in there. This is because he simply doesn't know what god ki is just yet. Goku and his friends are at the Kame house and he reveals his son Gohan to them. They are very surprised that he has gone and had a kid and are very happy for him. Across the planet though, Raditz has arrived. He mercilessly shoots the human farmer that he finds first, then begins to scan the surroundings for strong individuals. I only see one strong power level in the distance, that must be Kakarot, Raditz realizes. Raditz continues to fly onwards and makes it to Kame house to see his brother Kakarot stood there. Goku senses his ki from afar and is already outside the house awaiting his arrival. Raditz sees Goku's tail and his face then can immediately tell that it's him. He's a spitting image of their father and he also sees a boy that he assumes is his son from the tail that he possesses too. Hello there Kakarot, Raditz says menacingly, smiling at his younger brother. However, Goku doesn't seem fearful or frightened. He remains calm and collected and has a solemn face. With the ring of Yamoshi and his current strength, he is sure that he can take out the foe that stands before him. With the constant years of training his ki and meditating, he can sense ki much more accurately than he could do in canon by this point. Therefore, he has learned to vaguely gauge someone's strength by the ki signature they exude. Raditz tells him about his mission to exterminate the people of Earth, but Goku states that he remembers no such thing. His friends are also confused as to why this man is calling him Kakarot, but Goku places his hand out and stops Krillin and the others from approaching. Please stay back. He's referring to me by the name that was given to me at birth. I go by Son Goku, but my father named me Kakarot. I am not a human like you people, but a Saiyan from the world where this man hails from also, Goku reveals. This revelation totally takes the humans present off guard. They can't believe that Goku has been a totally different species this whole time, but it makes sense. He has these weird transformations that the others can't attain and has such strength that it's confusing. It's like he's made to battle. Well, Kakarot, if you don't complete your mission, I'll have to take your son there, Raditz states. Don't you dare try and take my son, Goku declares, placing his hand in between Raditz and Gohan. Raditz chuckles upon seeing Goku's mere power level of 600 through his scouter. Kakarot, I must say, it will be very foolish of you to try and stop me with that measly power level of yours. I recommend you stand down before you get your son killed, Raditz chuckles. However, his chuckle soon fades once he sees the readings on his scouter rise explosively. The air around Goku begins to flow and Goku begins lifting his suppressions. His power level continues to rise and his scouter breaks after its final reading of 300,000. Raditz is now trembling intensely and is struggling to even think of a next step for him. All he can feel is complete fear. Goku zooms right toward him and uses his precise punch skill for the first time in battle. As he does this, he can almost feel time slowing down. He can see Raditz's body with enhanced perception and can better judge where the different parts of his body are. It's still hard for him to do under this armor, and since he is moving so fast, he isn't giving him the best vision possible. However, he aims right for the center of his chest, not to try and permanently damage any vital organs, but to just give a message. He only lands a palm slam, but since this strike makes him 5 times more powerful and he is wearing his special champion's gi, he is 15 times stronger and has a power level of 1.5 million in this strike basically. This strike totally rattles Raditz completely, and the fact that Goku is merely doing this to warn him and not hurt him is the only reason why he remains alive. He is shot into the water and left to slowly sink, and the large waves created from this powerful impact slowly descend and calm also. Wow Goku, you took him out so easily, Krillin says, surprised as he looks out at the sea ahead. Goku stands there at the edge of the ocean and thinks about saving his brother. He doesn't have any real memories of him or his Saiyan family, and he did come here threatening to kill his son. However, he thinks back to the first Saiyan book of legends, detailing Yamoshi's life up until he became the world's first Super Saiyan God. The Saiyans in the book were evil by nature, but they seem to be fated to be that way. You can't punish somebody like this if this was how he was taught when growing up. Saiyans were made stronger by mercilessly slaughtering all life on planets and selling them off to make a living. From a young age, mercilessness seemed to be instilled in them. He just shakes his head before flying right into the water to retrieve his brother. The humans from the island watch on in shock as Goku swims and flies down to get Raditz before he dies of suffocation. He gets him and brings him to shore where he still seems unresponsive and unconscious. About a minute passes though and he coughs out a bunch of water mixed in with his own blood before struggling to breathe. He sees Goku and backs away in reaction, but he then starts to remember what happened. He saw that Goku's power level was 300,000, being enhanced by the champion's gi, and he knows that there is nothing that he can do to fight him. Raditz cannot act rash here, because if he tries to, Goku could easily just defeat him. What do you want then, Kakarot? If it's my life you want, then just kill me, Raditz shouts, before coughing out more blood and water. I don't want to kill you, here Goku says, throwing a spare senzu bean to him that he has from training. The senzu bean lands just ahead of Raditz's face and he then looks back up to look at Goku. It'll heal you. Just eat it and you'll be back to normal, he claims. Why are you helping me? I threatened to kill your son. Why do you still show such unnecessary mercy? Raditz asks, clenching on the grass on the island. What, do you wish that you were dead instead? Goku replies, slightly irritated by his tone. Raditz just remains silent and eats the senzu bean, feeling totally replenished and healed. He sighs of relief and stands back up to face Goku. With no message sent to Vegeta or Nappa, they don't immediately go to Earth. They don't even want to either, since there's no talk about the Dragon Balls. They just place trust in Raditz and his abilities, and if he fails, well, he fails. They aren't too bothered about him possibly losing his life because they know how weak he is and don't have much sympathy for a low-class Saiyan like him. In their eyes, if he fails and dies, he wasn't of much use to them anyway. After this happens, Raditz just flies off and Goku's left with his friends to just think about what's just happened. Hidden quest complete, family reunion, +1 all stats, +1 item, ancient power seed. User Kakarot brackets Goku, titles 1-man army, key control 8, intelligence 5, reflexes 8, durability 15, adaptability 4, perception 7. The sweet, powerful ancient power seed appears out of nowhere and lands right in the palm of his hand. Goku is quick to consume it and receives a 3x boost to his strength now. His power level is now 300,000 from the 100,000 that it once was. This gives him a current power level that is a whopping 900,000 from his champion gi. New quest, Advanced Training Program. Complete the Advanced Saiyan Training Program by training every day for 9 months. Reward, 1 transformation. Goku smiles upon seeing this quest and its reward and feels great to finally have the system direct this training again. Also, what he is really thinking about is the free food that he is going to get each day after training though. Once Goku returns to his home with Gohan, he sees Yamoshi appear out of nowhere. Hello once again, Saiyan. I must say that you have progressed much more than I ever would have anticipated for a user of this system. If you have gotten to this advanced program, then you have most definitely worked very hard and I commend you for that, Yamoshi explains. However, this system's program is quite a jump from the intermediate same program. Since you have the key of my true form in that ring of yours, the system can do this, Yamoshi explains. Goku can feel the ki from the ring flooding out of it and he's quite surprised. The power that he feels flooding out from such ring is very powerful and starts condensing on the projection. A bright light starts to be given off and once it slowly dies down, Goku just sees Yamoshi again. However, he doesn't seem to be covered in any blue light tint. Goku goes up to touch him, then he sees that he really is real. He pulls back awkwardly and Yamoshi just laughs in reaction. I've taken 10% of the ki in that ring and I'm actually now a real physical person. Even though I'm much weaker, I should still be enough to face you, Yamoshi explains. So what's he gonna be saying? Let's begin, Yamoshi says, entering his own Super Saiyan state. Goku responds by doing the same, then calms himself to collapse his aura. With his greater ki control, he can stop ki leaking out of his body, but this form isn't in its perfected state just yet. The two fighters then clash. Goku is literally launched backward and immediately starts fighting on the back end. It's very hard for him to keep up with the Saiyan that is almost like a perfect warrior. He can handle and counter almost any single one of his attacks, yet he still fights with fury and exaggeration in his strikes. Goku has already incurred a lot of damage even with his champion ki protecting him, but you can soon feel a warm sensation throughout his body. Sparks of green ki ooze off his body as his champion gi is healing him. The wounds slowly fade, which allows him to last longer in the battle at hand. From his increased stats, he has actually started to see how such perception is aiding him. He can better judge how to react to certain attacks because he can see them much better. It also lets him predict his opponent better just from the slight contractions in their musculature. Sadala slash, Yamoshi shouts, shooting a slice made of pure golden ki. Goku uses the same skill, but his slash is quite clearly much weaker and his slash just gets absorbed into Yamoshi's. Goku is forced to dodge at the last second and he watches the blade of golden ki slice right through a mountain. He is barely even given time to see the resulting explosion as when he turns back he receives a punch right to his stomach. This shoots him downward and the beatdown continues. Yamoshi urges him to keep fighting but soon Goku has simply taken too much damage. He is covered in streams of his own blood and has only given Yamoshi minor bruises. He falls to his knees and can feel his champion gi is unable to heal himself from the more major injuries in his body. You did well there, but there is a lot more work for you to do. You must continue training and I'll spar you every single day for these next 9 months. Expect to see much growth, Yamoshi states. His training regimen continues and Goku is forced to have a senzu bean to heal himself. When Yamoshi's ki returns to his ring, his body returns to its usual projection and it's like he's forgotten about the entire fight that they had. He just continues with the program as if it's been pre-recorded somehow. The months go by and during this time Goku starts to give his son his first bits of training. He exposes his son to the abilities of the Zenkai, making him grow stronger faster. If Gohan grew from a power level of like 3 to 2,800 in a little under a year with Piccolo's unorthodox training, Goku's focused and efficient training should definitely do the trick. Goku basically tries to teach Gohan what the system has taught him, such as things like meditation and ki control. He sticks to the basics for now and Gohan's power level reaches a whopping 4,000 by the time of the Saiyan's arrival. Goku's base power level has climbed all the way up to 3 million from 300,000. I mean, Goku has been sparring a 10% strength Super Saiyan Yamoshi for pretty much a year and has received some serious beatdowns in the process. With his senzu beans and ability to just heal from the injuries right away using his champion gi and the senzu beans, his progress is most definitely explosive. The only thing stopping his progress from being extremely explosive is the focus on aspects other than battle power. This advanced Saiyan program has taught him to have exceptional ki control and to not expend too much ki when battling so that he can do so for longer. Goku has already then accessed the ascended forms of Super Saiyan as a result. He now utilizes perfected Super Saiyan because he finds it much easier to utilize Yamoshi's ki on top of such forms since there is no stamina drain to begin with. All of the stamina drain that he uses from the combined state is solely from the godly ki from the Ring of Yamoshi. He has also been learning to use his Akari form. At first he made sure to do so in secluded areas as to not attack anyone, but his control with the form steadily increased. Now his control is quite okay, but he just doesn't really see a use for the form right now. He just sees it as a nice skill to have and believes that he could achieve more with it in the future. Quest complete, new transformation, Super Saiyan Omega. This form utilizes the true power and brutish nature of the Saiyan race, combines Super Saiyan Grade 3 along with the Akari form and a slither of Yamoshi's God Ki to achieve this unique state. Provides a 3000 times boost to battle power with a 6000 boost specifically to strength. S power 514 out of 500. Okay, I'll try this out to see how strong it is, Goku thinks. Goku in an empty wasteland calms his mind and begins using the power of Super Saiyan Grade 3. He feels his body buff up as he uses such state, then he stacks on Akari to the power 2. His aura becomes a mix of green and golden for a split second before returning to golden, and his eyes also switch to that same hue. His power level from the 9 million base because of his trusty champion Gi is around 7.2 billion with Grade 3 taken as an 80 times multiplier. He then begins using 0.5% of Yamoshi's ki and his eyes switch to red. His aura switches to that same colour and his muscles enlarge even more than they already have. He roars powerfully, feeling the pure rage and power of the Saiyan race. It's very hard for his body to contain and his power level is now completely skyrocketed from 9 million up to around 35 billion, with 4,000 taken as the overall multiplier to his power level from this state. He powers out of the state and calms himself and is surprised with the sheer strength that he now has. It's great and he can't wait to showcase such power in battle whenever he can. When Goku is simply training here on his own, he feels two strong ki signatures in the air. He isn't really scared of what they could do to him, but instead what they could do to his friends and others. Therefore, he follows right after these suspicious individuals and arrives in East City with them. Before Nappa can destroy the city, he looks up to see Goku flying in the sky watching him and Vegeta. Is that Kakarot? Isn't he supposed to have killed these vermin? Nappa asks, looking at the humans that are huddled around them at the crash site. I'd like to give him a punishment for failing to complete his mission. How about it, Vegeta? Nappa asks, cracking his knuckles. Sure, I'm going to find Raditz, Vegeta replies. Nappa laughs before shouting and flying right up to attack Goku. He throws a full power punch and attempts to nearly kill him with his strike. However, Goku doesn't move an inch as it lands on his body. Nappa follows up with a kick, but Goku dips right under it and remains unharmed. You think you're strong? Alright then, let me show you my full strength, Nappa shouts, blasting off his armor in a power-up. He continues to shout and makes the surrounding area rumble from the power that he outputs. His anger is grown upon seeing a low-class warrior dodge his attacks so well, but he wasn't at full strength. Well, that's what he tells himself. He tries to attack Goku again, but the Saiyan seems to appear by his side from how fast he moves. As Nappa turns to look at the Saiyan, he begins lifting his suppressions. His power continuously climbs and climbs, making Nappa freeze in place. His power level reaches as high as 1 million before Nappa's scouter breaks. Goku doesn't want to kill a fellow Saiyan as he has grown quite the connection to his people. Upon reading the Saiyan Book of Legends, he saw Yamoshi only force his hand when the situation against the evil Saiyans was dire. If these two Saiyans aren't of much harm to his family and everyone, he won't just viciously kill them. All he wants to do is teach them a lesson like he did to Raditz to make sure that they don't harm any of his loved ones. He punches Nappa lightly, but this punch almost shuts down his entire body. He starts coughing blood and wheezes from the pain that he feels. His guts feel like they're literally about to explode on him and he struggles to calm his mind as he feels this pain. I don't want to have to kill you. Please get Vegeta and leave to wherever you came from, Goku states. He doesn't see much good in these Saiyans and felt like he calmed Raditz much more easily because he's his brother. As for these more elite Saiyans seemingly unrelated to him, it doesn't seem like they'll be swayed by him much. Nappa flies in Vegeta's general direction from what his scouter told him before it broke, and Goku slowly follows after him to see where he's headed. Raditz, who is simply training in a wasteland on Earth, sees Vegeta arrive by his side. He looks very scared but stands up straight and politely bows to the prince. Prince Vegeta, he says, while looking down at the ground. You had a mission, exterminate every living being on this planet and acquire Goku. Why did you fail to do that? Vegeta asks, clearly angry. You had us travel all the way here to try and retrieve you, but it turns out you haven't even done your job, Vegeta adds. I apologize, Vegeta. My brother is stronger than I had anticipated. He was too much for me to overcome, Raditz comments. As Raditz looks down, he looks up slightly to see Nappa coming, but also Goku following after him. And he'll be too strong for you too, Raditz roars, launching his double Sunday right at Vegeta. This bright explosion only serves to blind Vegeta for a time, and Nappa accelerates his flight upon seeing this happen. He tries to attack Raditz, but Goku whizzes right in front of him and grabs Raditz before he can hit him. He punches hard rock on the floor, creating a large crater, but Goku lands and makes sure that Raditz is okay. Kakarot, you, Vegeta says, looking quite irritated. Nappa, just upon throwing this attack, coughs blood and falls down onto one knee once he realizes that he has been hurt quite badly from the punch that Goku landed on him before. Nappa, what is the issue? Were you hurt by that weak low-class Saiyan? Vegeta asks. He was too strong for me. You definitely have the power to defeat him though, sir. I know you can easily demolish him, Nappa claims, practically begging for his life by sucking up to the prince. I know. However, if you cannot defeat him, you are of no use to me, Vegeta says, before blasting Nappa to smithereens. He is killed just like that, and Goku is horrified. What did you do that for? He was your comrade, Goku shouts, shocked by his egregious action. So what? You annoy me, Saiyan. Raditz should have killed you for failing your mission, Vegeta claims, shooting a ki blast at the two Saiyans. They both dodge and it hits a gizzard rock behind them that shoots forward Raditz from the created explosions. He loses his footing and falls to the ground, but Goku remains totally firm in place. I'll take him down, Raditz. Just wait here, Goku states, before lifting his suppressions once again. Vegeta looks ready to attack them again, but he then sees the reading of Goku's power continuously rise. The numbers that he sees on his scouts have freed him completely. He literally can't believe the values that he reads and just doesn't believe it to be true. Goku then shouts, and even with a sliver of his strength, he takes Vegeta off guard and attacks him before he can have the chance to react. He lands a punch right to his Saiyan armor and shatters it on impact. Vegeta is sent flying away and hits into several gizzard rocks, being launched right through them. He eventually comes to a stop a few hundred meters away from the initial impact and coughs out blood while being trapped within a gizzard rock. Goku then flies forward and arrives in front of him in just a split second. Vegeta, I don't want to kill you, and I'm sure that you do not want to die. You have no use here anymore, and I want you to leave this planet at once, Goku commands. Vegeta coughs out even more blood and just shouts in rage at his defeat. He hasn't been humiliated so badly like this in battle before, and has only felt such humiliation following Frieza's every command helplessly. He hates feeling this way and flies right past Goku in a fit of rage. He knows he can't even attack Raditz because Goku might then do something, and the fact that he has to act so passively annoys him even more. Vegeta is now off planet and has been defeated at the hands of Goku with ease. Hidden quest complete, Royal's Bane. Defeat a Saiyan of the Royal Saiyan line in battle. +1 item, Ancient Amplifying Seed. A superior form of the Ancient Power Seed, this seed not only reveals one's latent potential but provides an extra boost to such power simultaneously. New title, New Royal, +1 item, Royal Saiyan Relic. A bracelet made from the armor and blood of a fallen ancient Saiyan king. This item amplifies the user's connection to the souls of the ancient Royal Saiyans. There is a black seed that appears in the palm of his hand as well as a black bracelet. He hides these two items that seem to have materialized out of nowhere since he doesn't want to just reveal his system out of nowhere. He has no clue who made it and doesn't even know if he will be safe to just reveal this system of his to anyone. I just want to thank you for what you've done here today. You finally got those two off my back, Raditz says, but Goku doesn't look as happy as him. But the other Saiyan, Nappa, why did he have to just kill Nappa like that, Goku asks. Why do you care? That's just how Vegeta is. He has no remorse for those weaker than him and hates when people are stronger than him. I don't even know what makes the guy happy other than wiping planets clear of their inhabitants, Raditz comments jokingly. Goku basically gets ready to leave, but Raditz stops him before he can go. Wait, Goku, Raditz calls out, stopping his brother from just going. There is a few seconds of silence between the two, and Raditz seems to look quite embarrassed from what he is about to say. Could you train me? Following this event, Goku agrees and gets ready to train his brother, but he receives yet another system notification. New quest, Frieza's Empire. Locate the Emperor Frieza and kill him, destroying his entire army. Free the Saiyans that remain under his merciless tyranny. Rewards, ? Frieza, Goku wonders upon seeing this message. Raditz is just practicing a few techniques that Goku starts him off with and can actually see the hint of saying fighting in it. It's aggressive but simultaneously it's calmed and controlled. The dichotomy of this style makes it seem quite impressive and useful. Who is Frieza, Goku asks, making Raditz totally stop. He read of King Cold's conquest of the Saiyan Empire and his empire, but that was a very long time ago. The book never got on to saying anything about his children or what happened to his empire after first invading the Saiyans. He reigns over this part of our galaxy. He invaded us Saiyans a long time ago and we've been forced to follow his every command ever since he took over from his father King Cold, Raditz explains. Our planet was destroyed by an asteroid, so we're basically the only Saiyans that remain. Everyone else was killed in the event, Raditz explains. Goku is shocked to hear this information. First, it isn't nice to hear that King Cold's family continued to have control over the Saiyans for several decades. On top of that, he didn't actually think that all the Saiyans were gone. With this system and after reading those numerous books, he was hoping to meet his people once again. Now hearing this, he's quite bummed out that he won't actually be able to do this fully. How did you find out about him? Raditz asks, quite confused. In the ship that took me here there was some weird audio message and I overheard his name being said, Goku fibs. How strong is he? Goku then asks. Well, he forces even the strongest fighters in the universe to fall under his command, so for somebody even like Vegeta, he is unbeatable. However, I think you might just be our hope of getting rid of him, Raditz realizes, getting happier once he realizes that he can actually certify his freedom. Do you know where he is? Goku asks. I knew you'd be up for taking him down. Anyway, I don't know where he is right now, and I'm quite happy about him most likely not knowing where I am either, Raditz explains. Well, what would happen if you were to act out of line? Goku then inquires. What? Well, he would most likely call me back so that I see him. He will then try and probably put me back in line somehow. Why? Raditz asks, a little confused. Goku then clicks his fingers once he thinks he has hit the nail right on its head with figuring out a strategy. If he calls you back, he has to tell you where he is. Just aggravate him and I'll try and follow him to his spaceship, Goku explains. Raditz likes his idea a lot and tells Goku that he can use Nappa's ship to follow after him so that he can head there too. Raditz then sends a message to Frieza to get him riled up while also detailing that he failed his mission. Just like he expected, Frieza gives him a falsely polite message for him to return to his ship for a meeting. With that, his location is sent to his ship and both Raditz and Goku head on their merry way there to see what is happening. Goku wearing his special black bracelet then eats the black seed that possesses amplifying powers and receives a boost to his strength. He can feel it and only manages to stop his aura from leaking out and destroying the ship because of his ki control. His power level rises from 3 million to 10 million, giving him a power level of 30 million when his champion ki is worn. They arrive at his ship in a few days' time and arrive on the ship through one of the back openings in his ship that allows other smaller spaceships inside. They then reach his very own throne room and Raditz immediately drops into a bow, then Goku just follows suit when he sees this. They then see Vegeta in the corner of the room already kneeled and facing the Emperor. By his side are his two right-hand men, Zarbon and Dodoria. So, I see that you have brought your brother here too. Even if you failed your mission of clearing the planet for selling, one more man for your squadron to replace Nappa isn't something that I'll complain about. However, Raditz, I am not happy with the tone of your message. That is why I decided to call you all here so promptly. Your punishment will be issued once we land on my nearest planet, Frieza adds. Of course, Lord Frieza, I apologize for my conduct and will take my punishment, Raditz replies. Good, you were all dismissed. Return to your ships and meet me on such planet, Frieza says, before turning his pod to view the beautiful view of dazzling stars and planets behind him. Goku and Raditz head back to their ships, but Vegeta approaches them before they can leave. Where are you going? Why did you bring him along here? Vegeta asks, making Raditz lightly laugh. He gets closer to Vegeta before whispering. Just wait, you'll see in due time, Raditz says. They head to their ships and arrive at Frieza Planet 79, the same planet that Vegeta arrived on to heal after Goku defeated him in the canon timeline. They all arrive there and meet Frieza in a special palace made on such planet. Goku and Raditz are sent into this hall alone and Frieza doesn't look as pleased as he once was. Raditz, I am here to issue your punishment for your recent improper conduct. I would like to say that the punishment that I think you deserve is death. He's way too slow to react, but Goku swats the beam away, now no longer suppressed. Just his revealed aura blasts away Raditz and the surrounding Frieza soldiers that stand at the sides of the red carpet leading to his throne. Frieza then aims and tries to shoot Goku, but he takes the beam head on and only gets a minor bruise on his forearm. Their scouters then break upon watching his power level rise seemingly indefinitely. Goku still looks just as he did before and the soldiers look at each other in surprise. No, it must be a malfunction. Kill him, a soldier shouts, shooting a ki blast at him. Goku knocks it away, then with the wave of his palm shoots the soldiers away with a mix of ki and air. Many are knocked out from this extremely weak attack for him and the two fighters by Frieza's side arrive in front of Goku to try and take him down. You've done far too much now, Saiyan. This disrespect will cost you your life, Dodoria shouts. He roars and tries to knock Goku down with a punch, but he catches the fighter's large fist before twisting it and breaking it. He then taps him on his neck to knock him out completely and that just leaves Zarbon to deal with. The stronger fighter tries to attack him in the same way, but Goku slips past him and evades his first strike. He then taps his neck to defeat him too by knocking him out. Goku then turns back to look at Frieza, who is stunned by the Saint's power and confidence. However, he just laughs and claps while lifting from his throne. I must say, Saint, you are much stronger than I expected. However, there is a reason that I am Emperor, Frieza says, erupting in an aura of purple ki. He smiles and makes a regal pose before charging right toward Goku to try and dismantle him. He throws a sequence of punches while shouting, but he can't seem to land any of them. Goku can either tap them away or totally block them. Goku lands a single kick to his stomach, making Frieza fall back from the pain and fall to his knees. He coughs blood, and just upon looking at his blood, he almost becomes unstable. He looks back up with bloodshot eyes and begins powering up to the very maximum. "You are nothing to me, Saint. I will pulverize you," he shouts before he begins transforming. He enters his gargantuan second form, and Raditz is just as shocked as Goku is when seeing him transform. He believed that his smallish first state was all there was to him, but after seeing this, that might actually not be the case. He shouts again and throws down his mammoth arms to try and hit Goku, but he catches them before they can reach him. Without even giving Frieza the chance to transform again, Goku pushes his arms away, then pushes his fist right through his entire body with the use of his precise strike skill. Frieza coughs blood upon taking this attack that perfectly goes through his liver, and blood starts dripping profusely from the created wound. Pulling out his hand, Goku then uses the Sadala Slash to cut the man right in half, from the bottom of his body to the top. Blood spurts out across the hall from this attack, and the two parts of his body flop to the ground. The mighty Emperor Frieza has been killed just like that. The Frieza Empire is no more. So that will conclude the second part of What If Goku Had a System. Please tell me something you liked about this video or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.